Why have Turkey and Russia grown so entangled in their geopolitical ambitions? Today, each decision they make sends shockwaves, not just across the Black Sea region, but throughout the globe. What's behind this complex relationship? What's at stake for both nations, and indeed, for the world? In this video, we'll unpack centuries of rivalry and partnership between Russia and Turkey as they navigate a high-stakes game balancing power, history, and ambition. From historical battles to today's critical energy and defense ties, this is a story of two nations that cannot ignore each other's influence. Let's dive deep into the intricate dynamics of this relationship and see where it might be heading. The relationship between Russia and Turkey is not just shaped by today's politics. It's rooted in centuries of intense rivalry, marked by battles, alliances, and political shifts that changed the course of history. Starting in the 18th and 19th centuries, the Ottoman Empire and the Russian Empire were constantly at odds, each vying for control over key regions like the Black Sea. The Crimean War, 1853 to 1856, became one of the pivotal battles between these empires. Facing a coalition of Britain, France, and the Ottomans, Russia ultimately lost and was forced to sign the Treaty of Paris, a major turning point. The stakes were high, especially concerning control over the Bosporus and Dardanelles. These straits, the only maritime gateway connecting the Black Sea to the Mediterranean, were, and still are, of immense strategic value. As we move into the 20th century, the Cold War era put Turkey and Soviet Russia on opposing sides, with Turkey joining NATO in 1952. This alliance marked Turkey's clear stance against Soviet expansion, solidifying its bond with the West. But fast forward to the late 20th century, and we see a shift. Russia and Turkey began building economic and energy partnerships, a strategy of co-opetition, cooperating economically while competing geopolitically. Today, Turkey relies heavily on Russian energy. The Turk Stream gas pipeline, launched in 2020, is a prime example. This pipeline, with a capacity of 31.5 billion cubic meters, not only strengthens Turkey's role as a regional energy hub, but also ties Turkey's energy security to Russia. Reports show that over 40% of Turkey's natural gas comes from Russia, underscoring their economic interdependence. Now, let's zoom into Crimea, a critical region that highlights the high-stakes nature of this relationship. Situated in the heart of the Black Sea, Crimea offers strategic access to any power that controls it. For Russia, Crimea is indispensable. It's home to Sevastopol, the port of the Black Sea Fleet, Russia's only direct access to the Mediterranean. Crimea also has vast natural resources. Estimates suggest the Black Sea region holds around 2.3 trillion cubic meters of natural gas, along with oil reserves and valuable minerals. But it's not just about resources. Crimea is tied deeply to Russian national pride and history. In 2014, after Russia's controversial deployment of troops, a referendum resulted in Crimea's annexation by Russia. This move shocked the international community and sparked sanctions from the US and EU that heavily impacted Russia's economy. Turkey, while allied with NATO, has taken a unique position. Though Turkey doesn't recognize Russia's annexation of Crimea, it maintains strong economic ties with Russia. President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has consistently supported Ukraine's sovereignty, but continues to collaborate with Russia on energy and defense. Adding complexity to Turkey's stance on Crimea is its cultural connection to the Crimean Tatar community. The Tatars, who make up around 12 to 15% of Crimea's population, have faced challenges under Russian rule, and Turkey has advocated for their rights. This cultural bond influences Turkey's diplomatic stance and adds another layer to an already intricate issue. Turkey has positioned itself as a bridge between East and West. Despite being a NATO member, it has cultivated a somewhat independent foreign policy, maintaining ties with Russia while balancing its alliances with the West. Energy dependence and economic ties with Russia. As mentioned, Turkey is a key consumer of Russian gas, with Turk Stream boosting Turkey's energy role in Europe. This interdependence has strengthened their relationship even as tensions flare over other issues. Maintaining NATO ties. Turkey also keeps close ties with NATO, joining joint military exercises in the Black Sea and providing bases like Incirlik Air Base. This is a critical NATO site that supports operations across the Middle East. However, Turkey's purchase of Russia's S-400 air defense system in 2019 signaled a willingness to act independently of NATO. This $2.5 billion deal strained Turkey's relationship with the US and led to its removal from the F-35 fighter jet program. This two-faced policy lets Turkey leverage both its relationship with NATO and its cooperation with Russia, giving it flexibility to pursue its own geopolitical goals. By staying connected to both camps, Turkey enhances its bargaining power in regional conflicts and energy dynamics. Europe's reliance on Russian gas is another critical factor. With nearly 40% of Europe's gas coming from Russia, any disruption affects the entire continent's energy security. Turkey's strategic location as a gas transit hub could make it an alternative route for European energy supplies. Through pipelines like Turkstream and TANAP, Trans-Anatolian Natural Pipeline, Turkey could help Europe diversify away from Russian energy. This would position Turkey as a strategic ally for Europe, strengthening its role in regional stability. The Black Sea is increasingly a zone of military buildup. Since the annexation of Crimea, NATO has amplified its presence in the region. Joint exercises with NATO allies bolster defensive capabilities and assert NATO's presence in what is effectively a contested maritime space. Turkey's naval power plays a crucial role here, acting as a check against Russian expansion. The 2015 incident where Turkey shot down a Russian jet that allegedly violated its airspace underscores the potential for flashpoints between these two powers. The heightened arms race and constant drills create a volatile environment. With NATO and Russian ships frequently operating in close quarters, even minor incidents risk escalation into broader conflicts. Turkey's position, as both a NATO member and a nation with vested interests in Russian cooperation, is delicate. It could act as a mediator, or in some scenarios, be drawn into conflict. The future of Turkey-Russia relations is uncertain, shaped by a range of internal and external factors. Internally, Turkey must balance its NATO commitments with its national interests, while Russia's assertive foreign policy pressures Turkey to continually adjust its strategy. Externally, energy prices, sanctions, and the political stances of allies like the US and EU influence how both countries approach their relationship. Economic pressure and political shifts could lead to new alignments or deepen existing divides. Dialogue remains critical for preventing conflict. Both countries have an interest in maintaining stability in the Black Sea, as well as in the Middle East. Cooperative efforts in energy, trade, and defense could serve as stabilizing forces. But this will depend on both nations' willingness to engage in diplomatic resolution mechanisms. In the end, Turkey and Russia will remain strategic rivals, even as they pursue mutual benefits in certain areas. The Black Sea is a pivotal theater for their geopolitical ambitions, and both nations will need to carefully navigate their complex relationship to avoid unintended conflicts. What do you think the future holds for Turkey and Russia in the Black Sea? Will they manage to coexist peacefully, or could rising tensions lead to open conflict? Share your thoughts below. And if you found this analysis insightful, please like, subscribe, and share to help others understand these pressing issues.